took a shit, yeah. I just took a shit, yeah. Took it yesterday, yeah. I just took a hit, yeah. I just made a hit, yeah. I just took your bitch, yeah. I just took a, yeah. Yo, you know what I could do real quick? I could give you a quick tutorial on how to do the music shit. Okay, wait, this would be good for a good YouTube video. I have to act like I'm doing a YouTube video right now. Hold on, let me lock in. Yo, what's good, YouTube? Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Get out! So, if you wanted to make music, right? I'm gonna give you hella sauce today. I'm giving you hella sauce. Hella sauce. All the fucking sauce. You're getting all sauced over. Give me all your sauce, king. Alright. Alright, so first, let's open up FL Studio, right? If you wanna get into beats, making beats, Yanita, what's good? Welcome in. If you wanna get into making beats, that's a whole different thing. But if you specifically just wanna record, right? What you do is first, you think of something of an artist. An artist, it's okay if you gotta steal a little bit of swag at the beginning, because that's how you gotta start. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta start. So we go to YouTube, right? Underground artist. Boom. Right? We think of this and we look up type beat, right? Everybody knows this type beat, you know what I'm saying? It's so popular now. Anyways, boom. Okay, maybe we find a different one because I'm not really my style. You're like, oh my god, I want this one, right? Now the producer will most likely have the beat right here, right? Like, oh my god, this shit's $30, bro. But they got the free download. Hold on, let me sign in. Right? Or you could also do the I mean, you could also not do the looking up download MP3 on Google. Don't do that. Okay? That's not what you should be doing. Don't look that up on Google and then download the song. Do not paste the link in there and do not download it like that. Okay? Because that's definitely not the reason why I stopped selling my beats, because people don't do that. Okay? Do not do that. People don't do that, and you know what I mean? So do not go on Google and look up YouTube to MP3 converter, paste the link of the beat you want and download it. Do not do that. Okay? So now we go to FL Studio. After you bought the beat, okay? After you paid $30 for the beat, or you signed in and you downloaded the free version of the beat, whatever, right? This shit will most likely, right, in the description of the YouTube video, either in the description, it will have there you go. It has the BPM and the key. Very important, because when you use autotune, you want to know the key. So the BPM is 152. So you go over here and you set this shit up to 152. And you want to make sure that you see how there's this little space? You want to make sure that shit's all the way, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Done. Yes? 152. And you're like, okay, what do I need the key for? What do I need the key for? Oh, hold on though. Hold on. You're gonna put, you see this is called the mixer, okay? You have the mixer, right? This is where you just have, like, you can put effects on this shit. Now do all this shit, right? If I do this, you can see all that, right? Boom. So insert 20. I don't know. You can put it insert 1, whatever the fuck you want. You can put it wherever you want. This is how I do it to keep myself organized, because I make my beat and then I record on top. So think of it like this, right? If you're making a beat, right, you have all these sounds, and then you put this, you're gonna put these sounds on the mixer. Yes, you put these sounds on the mixer, but since you're not making the beat, then you don't gotta worry about all that. So I have to worry about all that because I make the beats. And so I need all this space from 1 to 20 to have sounds that is not my vocals. Make sense? So that's why I do it on 20. But anyways, point is, you can just put it wherever the fuck you want. Okay? Oh shit, that did not mean to do. Okay, there's raw vocals, which means raw vocals has no effects at all, right? So this is what I would recommend. Wherever it is you put your vocals, wherever you're gonna put on your microphone, right? In this case, in my case, is insert 20, right? I'm gonna hit this. You can hit, I think it's F, yeah, it's F2. You can click on the thing, right? And hit F2 on your keyboard, or you can just right click and then click right here, and you name this raw, no protection, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm gonna just call it raw vocals. Boom. Wait, actually, and I'm gonna change the color to whatever the fuck I want. So I'm gonna change it to pink. Okay? And then the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go, you see this little thing right here? You're gonna take this shit off. Boom. Take that shit off, and you're gonna put it on the next one. Right next to it, right here. Boom. You're like, what the fuck is that even for? This is called routing, which means you're sending your raw vocals, your vocals with no effects. You're sending them over to another channel to put the effects on. Yes? This, now I do multiple routing, which means, you see how this pink one goes to, so right here on this one, you can name it FX. And then put a different color. We'll put like a completely different color, like a blue, so it's easy to see. Yes? Right? So now you have your raw and your effects vocals. Your raw is being routed to your effects. And you have your effects. I have double effects. So I have double routing. So what I do, right? Hold on. What I do is I have a specific one that is for getting rid of the background noise. So when you hear the fan go and you hear your dog barking in the back, right? We want to reduce that shit. So I call that de-noise, or whatever the fuck. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. You can call it fucking GAT. Okay? Doesn't fucking matter. None of this matters. This is all just for your own organization. Boom. You set a color for it. Boom. So you have your raw vocals going into your GAT. Okay? Now remember, each of these channels is routed to this master channel right here. So once you route your raw vocals to your GAT, you want to make sure your GAT is not routed to the master. You want to make sure your GAT is routed to what? Your effects. Okay? And then your effects, which is your last step, right? Is the last step. That should be routed to your master. Yes? Boom, boom. Now, right? I have a bunch of presets. So I'll have a lot of these presets are like downloaded. A lot of these I make myself. A lot of these are a mix. I have like this one. Okay, now I did pay for this shit. I did pay for this. You know, not all of this is free. My fault. But you know, you gotta work with what you have. So obviously you would want to record in a closet to reduce all this, the fucking fan blasting in your fucking ear, right? What you want to do is put a fucking sock on your microphone. Yeah? Okay? You put a fucking sock on this shit. Not too thick, because then it will start messing with the, what you call harmonics and dynamics of the fucking microphone. Basically, it's not as crispy. Okay? You reduce the crispiness of your McChicken. You don't want to do that. And then you add this thing. Okay? All this does, you can visually see right here. If I stay quiet, you could see. You see all that noise right there? I wasn't talking. There's all this noise right here. So you would literally just boost it up right there. And when I'm not talking, okay? When I'm not talking, it cuts off. Now you can hear it sounds too choppy, like, bro, it sounds too choppy. Okay, that's where you start putting up the release little by little. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's still a little too choppy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay? Now, there is solutions. You're like, dude, I can still hear the air when you're talking. Sure, the air is gone when you don't talk, but I can still, there's some solutions that you could do, like adding, where the fuck is this? I don't remember the name, but I know how to do it. Okay? So watch. Let's say you're about to record. Like, oh my god, I just took a shit. Oh my god, I just took a, yeah, oh my god. Okay? Boom. Whatever. Right? Now, you double click this, and you right click on this. Okay, you right click on this shit, and then you go over here to open, edit in audio editor. Boom, there you go. Now, you click Control A to select everything, and then you go to Tools, and then you go to, I can't fucking find it. Where the fuck is this? Oh, clean up, denoise. Or you can press Control U. There you go. Boom. Okay? And then here's where you gotta fuck with it a little bit, because obviously everybody has different mics. Everyone has a different fan than I do. Everybody has different background noise. All that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god, I just took a shit. Oh my god, I just took a shit. The thing is, you can only notice what the noise. Okay, like this. Like, oh my god, I just took a shit. Oh my god. You see what I mean? It's previewing the part that you want to take off. So, oh my god, I just took a shit. Oh my god, I just took a. You hear that? Like, oh shit, this is like, that kind of sounds weird. So now, like, oh my god, I just took a shit. Oh my god, I just took a. Okay. Visually look at this, the sound waves here, right? You see how it changes? This is without it. This is with the effect. It slightly changes the sound waves. It just cleans them up a tiny bit. Good enough. You know what I mean? To be free, this is good enough so that it's free. And then once you do that, you press on, or you hold on this one right here and you drag them back over here. So now you have the cleaned up version. Anyways, that's the method you're gonna have to use because you're broke. But I'm not broke. Okay? So I'm not broke, and I have this thing right here called the RX voice denoise. And this does all that work for me. I just fucking put this shit all the way up. So yes, where the fuck was I? What I do is add 2 of these, okay? And I would do this is what I'll do. I'll literally go like this and then go, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. When I start hearing that my vocals themselves start changing, that's when I pull back. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I add another one and you hear how it completely just cuts off all the sound, but it sounds like it's filtered now. So I'll put a little bit here and then you just gotta mess with it, you know what I mean? On top of that, you add this one. Boom. Completely quiet. If you're not talking, this thing is not letting no sound go through, okay? So the combination of those makes it more professional, you could say. And then now you start like pulling these back, messing with it again. It's a lot of messing around until you find the perfect sound, whatever. Now you have clean vocals, right? Now is when you want to add effects, okay? Okay. So for example, I said I use Young Phazos a lot. Boom. Yeah. My God. That's so loud. But yeah, basically, I'm gonna take this off. Okay. What I do, because what I do most of the time when you download a preset, they all have the noise gate that I was talking about, and I already put one, so it's like, why put another one? It's only gonna make it weird. Look how it cuts off my vocals randomly, right? Because they have them like this, they'll cut my vocals out randomly, like start, like you don't want that happening. You don't want that happening. I just take this shit off. Sometimes they add compression, so what I'll do instead, I'll just turn the threshold down, and that turns off the noise gate, the whole reducing thing effect. That's just this. And then sometimes they mess with this, so whatever. The point is, I just turn this threshold off. That's the first thing I do. And then I'll add autotune. If you have Autotune Pro, that's even better. And then, if you remember, now class, if you retract back to chapter 2, when I was talking about the BPM and the key of this shit, right? It says A sharp minor. There's major, minor keys, okay? So you go A sharp. A sharp is also, B flat. So this one right here. That's A sharp. Okay. Now I have autotune. Yeah. Okay. But this one doesn't really fit this beat, so I'm gonna use a different one. Let's try this. Again, I turn this shit off. Boom, boom. And I also do, I mess with these, but yeah. Okay, Hey, I just took a shit, yeah. I just took a shit. I just took a hit. I just took your bit. I just took a shit, you know? And then you just like, boom, you start cooking. So this whole process, right? This whole process of the main vocals, you would do it the same. So again, I go over here, I put it on a track, You're like, oh, put it on raw. No, 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 no. Do not put it on your main vocals. Your main vocals, remember, is track 20. You want to choose a different one. Oh, let me put it on 21. Hold on. You're already using 20 to 22. So you got to put it. I give myself space for other shit. So I put it up to like 25. So I'm like, okay. And then you're like, what the fuck is even... I'm talking about my ad-libs. So now we're trying to get ad-libs in here. Okay? Oh, and also, I mean, you gotta choose your microphone here. The second I press none. Chill out. Chill out. Chill out. Okay? This is where you choose your mic. So when I turn this shit off, you guys can't hear me. You feel me? So now we do this whole process again. We insert it on 25. What do we do first? We take it off the fucking master. And then we put it on the one next to it. And then what do we do next? Oh, now no. Shut your ass up. You take it off the master again. And you route it to the next one. So now you have these three. Why? Because you want your raw vocals. You want to record your raw vocals. You're like, why the fuck you want to record your raw vocals? I want to record the ones with effects. No, you fucking don't. Why? Because when you record your raw vocals, then let's say you didn't like the effects, something, whatever it may be, right? Because if you record with the effects on, you can't go back and fix it. You know, you can't go back and mess with it. But if you record, hold on, let me do something real quick. But if you record your vocals raw, right, then you can always go back and fix the effects, mess with it, whatever the case may be. Hold on. Cool. So you want to record your raw vocals always. That's something I fucked up with. So for example, I used to record my vocals with the effects on, and then in the future, or like back then when I didn't know this, so now if I listen to a song I made like in 2019, and I'm like, that one has too much echo, you know what I mean? It has too much echo. I don't like that. Let me go tweak it. Well, guess fucking what? I can't, because I would have to re-record it all over again with the adjusted effects. But with this, doing it this way, doing the routing method, you can just tweak whatever the fuck the effects. Like, for example, let me just fucking show you. Right? You're recording the raw vocals, right? But it's routed to the effects. So now, right? I have the effects. You're like, oh my god, there's too much echo. Let me just turn the echo off. It sounds a little weird. Let me change let me change how it slightly sounds here and there. Boom, boom, boom. Adjust this, whatever the fuck. Put some echo back. It has too much distortion. Let me turn off the distortion. Let me turn off the echo. Boom. Now, like, you can adjust all this shit. You know, you can adjust all this shit and then record again, and you'll be fine. And you can be tweaking it in real time, if that makes sense. So that's why you want to do it this way. This is like, you could say, the professional way of doing it. This is how people do it in the studios, you know? They have everything routed. Like every sound you hear in the song, every single sound, they have it routed to a channel. These are called channels, right? That way you can tweak it and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I hit record here, and when I hit play, it's going to do a countdown because of this. So if I have this turned on, it'll do a countdown like and then it'll start. Professionally suck my dick. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you can also have this thing. This thing's called a metronome. So it has you hear that? So that you stay in beat. Hey, I just took this shit. Yeah, I just took this shit. Yeah, I just took this shit. You know what I mean? Let's say you have your verse or whatever, right? And then you're like, damn, this shit fire. This shit about to get me out the hood. I need to have some ad-libs though. Now you go over here. You're like, bro, all this shit's... You do the same fucking process, which is over here. Also, you could also do this. Right click on this, and then save, and you just drag that. Boom. All of a sudden, that same denoise, or you could also just save it. You know, let's say you call this denoise thingy. And you change the color, obviously, so you don't fucking forget, because you have goldfish memory like me, right? So boom, you make it yellow, stands out. It looks like shit. It looks like diarrhea. And it looks like piss, and it annoys you, but it stands out. So you're like, okay, now you can hit over here, save, boom, and then you would choose a folder somewhere in here, right? I have a folder called Mixer Presets with all my shit here. And you can make a new folder, call it Suck My Balls, and then you name this shit Suck My Balls Preset. And you could call it like version 1 or something. Or you could call this is the denoise. So Suck My Balls denoise. Boom. Right? You save it there. So now every time you need this shit, you go here, you right click. Let's say I need it on this one, right click, file, and then it should be, you see, it's right here. Suck My Balls. Suck My Balls denoise. Yeah? You don't even have to tweak nothing. It's already, you already did the hard work. You just copy paste. And then we just fucking find a preset, the ad-lib. And again, you adjust the fucking key. So, like that. And then now you record. Hold on, I kind of fuck with that though. Now you have fucking ad-libs. You're like, oh my god, let me, oh, and then let's say for some strange reason, right? You have all this thing I've been showing you. Everything's checking out. You're like, I can't hear nothing. Sometimes, you see how these two are checked out? They're orange. They have like an orange label to it. A highlight, if you may. If this one is on off, yeah, you didn't hear any of that, right? But I turned this shit to on. Now you can hear me. Right? Now I turn the effects back on. Yeah,